Okay, so where we finished the last video was here. So we were looking at sine of the inverse sine of 1/2 and the inverse tangent of -3. So we said, well, the inverse sine is A, inverse sine of 1/2 is A, inverse tangent of -3 is B. So we've got sine of A plus B, which this is our formula, it's our sum formula for sine. So the first thing we wanted to do was complete our triangle here. So we said for A, we have sine is 1/2, so our opposite of our hypotenuse is 2. So we're going to solve, so we've solved for square root of 3 is this adjacent side. Now on this one for B, we said tangent is our opposite over our adjacent, so that's where these came from. And so now we're going to solve this one. So I've got 1 plus 9 equals x squared. So x is the square root of 10. So that is my hypotenuse. So if I'm looking at this, for A, my sine is 1/2. So here I've got 1/2. My cosine for B, my cosine here is my adjacent over hypotenuse. So I have this. Plus my cosine for A, so for this one, it's going to be my adjacent side over my hypotenuse, so I've got square root of 3 over 2. And then my sine for B is my opposite over my hypotenuse. Okay, so I have this. So if I simplify this, I'm going to have 1 over 2 root 10 plus -3 root 3 over 2 root 10. So I end up with, what is that, -1 minus 3 root 3 over 2 root 10. We don't want the square roots in the denominator. So if I multiply the top and bottom by the square root of 10, I end up with, let's see, that's going to distribute and give me the square root of 10 minus 3, the square root of 30 over, it's 2 times 10, it'd be 20. So this would be my answer. Okay, as ugly as that is, that's our answer. All right. So the last thing is, well, what if we want a formula? So say I have the sine of my arc cosine, which again is our inverse cosine of u. Okay, we want to know what is that. So we know that our inverse cosine is u. So if I look at this, let's say we've got this angle. Cosine is my adjacent side over my hypotenuse. Since it's a whole number, it's going to be u over 1. So we need to, again, find out what this side is. So I'm going to call it x. So x squared plus u squared is 1 squared. Okay, and then we're just going to solve for x. So I've got x squared equals 1 minus u squared. So x is going to be the square root of 1 minus u squared. So now my sine is this x value over 1. So this is going to equal the square root of 1 minus u squared over 1, which is just the square root of 1 minus u squared. And so that would be my answer. Okay, so let's do another one. I'm doing the same thing. So what if I had, let's say the sine of 2 of the inverse tangent of 3 over u. Okay? So for this angle, we want, for sine, my formula for sine of 2 times an angle is 2 sine of that angle. We'll name it theta. Sine of 2 theta, cosine of theta. All right, so we're going to do the same thing. So we need to find out, this is theta. Tangent is our opposite over our adjacent. So we need to find out what is our hypotenuse. So I've got u squared plus 3 squared is x squared. So x is going to be the square root of u squared plus 9. It's the square root of u squared plus 9. So here I'm going to have 2. My sine is my opposite, 3 over my hypotenuse. And then my cosine is the adjacent, so it's this one, over my hypotenuse. So we've got 2 times 3 times u, so it's going to give me 6u over the square root, let me slide that up, the square root of u squared plus 9 times the square root of u squared plus 9, so it's going to give me u squared plus 9. Okay? And so that is our formula. So it's just basically working backwards, completing those triangles, finding out your pieces, and then saying, well, what is the sine of that angle? And that would be it.